After months of papers, tests, and projects, the students and professors at USCA can end the semester with final exams. Students and faculty share their thoughts on how to be successful during the most stressful week of the school year.
So studying throughout the semester is a definite way to be successful as far as exams are concerned. One method that I always use is after every class, I rewrite my notes so that the information stays current in my mind.
I would suggest they make flashcards on index cards, because then you're looking up the information you need to know, highlighting what's important, and then writing it down helps you memorize it also. And then you have something else to look at to find out what the highlights are.
Especially for first-year students, you haven't had the experience or as much experience taking exams, but of course you've had exams from your professors early in the semester, so you should be fairly comfortable with their testing style, and that should help you prepare. I would say a key thing is to pace yourself. Figure out how much time you're going to need with each class and set up a schedule so that you're able to give yourself adequate study time for every class.
I would say definitely don't wait till the last minute. And a lot of study habits that I have is after class, I go over my notes and everything that I did that day, and then I just keep progressing on throughout the semester. And then after one test, I'll kind of just focus on what we've been going over in those couple of weeks before the next test.
Cramming is not a really good idea. You know, you got to approach this as like triage, you know. The worst things first, you know, get those out the way so that it'll help eliminate a lot of the stress that you have, because you are less focused on the harder things, and the stuff that you want confident about, you can spend less time about, and then you can go back to the harder stuff if you're still not quite sure about how you feel about that. But it's not good to cram in any means.
Cramming is not a good choice. Actually, one of the classes I teach, the textbook author talks about information bulimia, which is really just cramming yourself so full of information so that you can regurgitate it for a test. And the real problem with that, there's so many problems with that, but the biggest one is you don't retain, you haven't learned. And college is about learning and understanding. You want to be able to take knowledge for a course into future courses. You want to be a literate, well-read, intelligent person, and when you just cram stuff into your head to throw it back out on a test the next day, you aren't going to be learning. It's not a productive method, and it's not a good way to do well on tests.
Cramming never helps. I've learned that through cramming, all this information that I'm trying to remember now, I could have remembered over the semester, and would have been a lot easier to learn it in pieces instead of all in one go.
Cramming for exams is not good at all. I wouldn't say that it doesn't work, because different methods work for different people. But I know as for me, cramming for an exam, it doesn't work at all. It only makes me tired, and when I go to the exam, I'm not able to concentrate.
A definite fear that I had was the work was going to be really hard, and that the professors were going to give out a lot more homework than high school. But really, it's just being independent and doing work on your own, and it's really a growing up process, and I was scared for that, but overall it's been nice.
Talking from my teachers in high school and everything, it was like, you know, this college was this, you know, eat you up and spit you out type institution. You know, I was going, my first semester here, when I was thinking about exams, all I could think about was like everything that, you know, was going to be on that test. I just felt that, you know, everything that I was supposed to know, I didn't know. I don't know, I had this idea that, you know, the teacher was out to trick you, that, you know, it was just, I could know everything, but the one thing that I didn't know would be on the test. It would be like worth everything. That was my biggest
I think
fear.
we're like other people. I would have dreams that I couldn't find the room You know, that typical nightmare of running all over campus and your class isn't there, the exam's not there. That was always crazy. I never didn't find the room for my exam. I feared that I would walk in the room and my mind would go blank, and I wouldn't remember anything. I think those were probably the two biggest ones. Just that fear of absolutely forgetting everything I thought I knew. And that never happened either.